We might see Edelgard herself leading the enemy in the next battle. If they're coming out of Fort Mercius, our troops might even clash on Gronder Field. And those other troops on the march. Who knows what they'll do, or what side they'll take. Not sure how we're supposed to form a strategy with so many unknowns. I don't know why you're so confident, but it does somehow make me feel better. Anyway, we've come this far. Let's just keep putting one foot in front of the other and see how far we get.
Claude was saying that our next battle might be in Gronder Field. Is that right? Reminds me of the Battle of the Eagle and Lion. But of course that was a very different time. When it was over, all three class heads complimented each other on their bravery. And then we had a party. But we can never... Excuse me, could you do me a favor? Excuse me, could you do me a favor?
Lysithea, it's no good for you to expose yourself to such strong sunlight. And a chill could steal upon you at any moment. You really ought to have worn a mantle. You have been running yourself absolutely ragged. Would you please consider taking some rest?
Enough is enough. I am fully aware. Now, stop following me.
I'm only concerned for your health.
That's great and all, but I feel fine today, and I'm perfectly capable of caring for myself. I don't have time to take a rest. I'm overloaded with work, and I have less time than everyone else. I just want to do my own thing, bring order to the Alliance, and put my parents' minds at ease.
No need to rush. How can you be so certain your lifespan is shortened anyway? I do not know who decided that, but consider me skeptical. If you are healthy now, and if you take proper care of yourself, you ought to live just as long as anyone else.
That's all well and good, but those vitamin-packed sweets you brought tasted weird.
If you want a healthy body, then you need to start with what you eat.
You have a point, but those health sweets are gross.
I sent for the finest in wholesome, healthy treats for you. I asked only for the very sweetest.
That was pretty nice of you. I'm sorry, Lawrence. Thank you for being so thoughtful. Still, I don't need bushels and bushels of them. Gaining a ton of weight won't exactly lengthen my lifespan either. I mean, I like to be able to hang out with you as much as possible, and for as long as possible.
Truly? Oh, I'm so glad. I feel the same. Even in an otherwise perfect future, I still cannot see a happy life for myself without you in it. In fact, the more time we spend together, the more essential to me you become. So let us walk, side by side, toward a future together.
Yikes! Keep it down, will you?
Why are you flustered? What is there to be embarrassed about? You know I will always care for you.
Okay, noted. Will you just calm down already?
You need not worry about a thing. I will look after you no matter what may come. After all, the future of Fodlan rests upon my shoulders, does it not?
I won't give up on myself either. Thanks for caring, Lawrence.
Flame, is something the matter?
I made it clear that I do not want you meddling in the affairs of me and my friends.
I am not quite sure what you are referring to, but I promise you I would never try to stand in your way.
It has come to my attention that you have been running about asking people what they think of me. Asking everyone!
Well, of course I have. It took me quite some time. But for you, it was well worth the effort. I was able to confirm that you are getting along well with everyone. It was very reassuring.
I cannot emphasize enough how embarrassed I was when I found out. And you have caused such a stir for those whom you questioned. Why, one person even said he feared for his life when you cornered him in the dining hall.
The dining hall? Ah, I know the fellow you are referring to. Yes, I've seen the way he looks at you. I recognized in an instant that he had impure feelings for you. As your brother, I took it upon myself to test his resolve. I merely asked him if he was prepared to lay his life on the line for my beloved sister.
He is nothing more than a friend. Kindly keep out of my social business in the future.
I am happy to see that you are making friends, but you should weigh your options more carefully.
Who I befriend is absolutely none of your business. Do you know what they call people like you? Overprotective meddlers. I am no longer a child. Are you incapable of trusting me, even a little?
Of course I trust you, but as an elder brother, I have a certain responsibility.
As my brother?
Obviously.
Oh, never mind it. If you'll excuse me. Hello, Manuela. I was just wondering, what was it like back when you were involved with that opera troupe? Your life must have been quite different from how it is here, I imagine.
My, how bold to ask an adult about their private life. I'll humor you, though. A diva's life is only glamorous while she's on stage. The rest of her time is consumed by grueling training. Just days and days of practicing, beginning at sunrise, with barely a moment to rest from one performance to the next. Then, once the performances begin, you're on stage for 3 shows a day. Absolutely exhausting. Is that anything like you imagined?
It sounds like a world all its own. Thank you. I find the topic fascinating. What sort of roles did you tend to be cast in? As the lead performer, did you play the part of a princess much? Oh, I can only imagine how illustrious that would be.
Yes, I was a princess once or twice. And it was quite something, let me tell you. All those royal jewels and flowing gowns. And they didn't just give me the pretty clothes to wear because I was beautiful, you know. I had to fight and claw my way into every role. But once I was there on stage, singing my solo, and all eyes were on me, it was worth it. I was rewarded for every one of my countless hours of practice. And the cheers when I finished a song, the applause. Oh, I can't properly explain it, but I can tell you, it's an experience I will cherish until the day I die.
Wondrous. It all sounds so very glamorous. Despite how rigorous a schedule you kept, it sounds like the hard work was worth those fleeting moments on stage. Mine has always been a quiet life. It is hard not to feel a twinge of envy, hearing such stories from you.
There's a lot to be said for the quiet life. It was never for me, of course. Still, I hear it's a pretty good deal for a lot of other folks. The thing is, Flame, well, you always have to remind yourself that if a place shines brighter than anywhere else, its shadows will be darker too.
What do you mean?
Nothing. It's a thing I hope you never come to understand. You know what? The next time you visit, I'll tell you all about the time I played a beautiful princess and about the handsome prince she fell in love with.
Oh, please! I would love to hear all about it.
Manuela, isn't it a bit rude to sigh at someone the moment you see them enter the room?
Hanneman, isn't it a bit rude to tell others how to behave? Besides, I could be sighing about any number of things more interesting than you.
Goodness, you're unusually irritable today. Don't you imagine your attitude a bit excessive? You snap at every little thing, your ill mood on display for one and all. It saddens me to see such behavior from one who should be setting a good example for the younger generation.
Well, listen to the noble lecturing a lowly commoner to be on her best behavior. Oh, wait, I meant to say the former noble.
I fail to understand how my birth is relevant to the topic at hand. I was merely trying to say that as a fellow adult...
You're not done lecturing yet? Leave me alone and go pester someone else. Maybe leave everyone alone and go focus on your precious crest research.
I don't know what to say to you, Manuela. I was only speaking out of honest concern.
Oh, was that a sigh I heard? Isn't it a bit rude to sigh at someone just because?
Don't be so childish. You are so sensitive to ill will from others, yet you let your own emotions run wild. Why is it that you cannot keep a handle on yourself?
Keep a handle on? Well, I've never. What makes you think you're so much better? Just because you keep your emotions bottled up behind your stupid, stony face. Well, it doesn't mean everyone else has to do the same. Stop telling everyone how to behave, Hanneman. It will make you and the rest of us much happier.
I will not stand for this insolence. It is high time someone taught you.
Go on! If you think you can change me, I'd like to see you try. Ha! Thought so. You wouldn't dare.
Absolutely insufferable.
Welcome. This one?
Thank you.
This one?
Thank you. Please come again.
A moment, please.
Hey there.
Come back anytime.
Since you secured the Great Bridge of Myrden, trade got a lot easier within the Empire. Nevertheless, profits are rather thin compared to how it was 5 years ago. You can't be much of a trader unless you're prepared to traverse the whole of Fodlan.
Hey! Really now? There's unrest everywhere. I hope things go... Hey! How about a favor?
I'll use this power for the greater good.
There's unrest. I hope things go back. Welcome! Is that the one? Thanks. Is that the one? Thanks. Is that the one? Thanks. Is that the one? Thanks a... Is that the one? Thanks a... Is that the one? Thanks a bunch. 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 Come back soon.
I gotta keep this place clean, and I mean properly clean, every day. Dust it, sweep it, everything. You never can tell when Lady Rhea might be back.
I gotta say, it's tough to keep the fighting spirit alive when you recognize your enemies on the battlefield. So you can't avoid it, huh? How did everything get so messed up? Just because we're fighting someone doesn't mean we gotta hate them. That's probably the worst thing about war. Win or lose, I still get a bad taste in my mouth.
I did not expect much from the dining hall, but this does not disappoint.
This is delicious! My absolute favorite!
This food is a revelation. I can't help but smile when I eat it.
This is nearly as delicious as Mother's cooking. I would happily eat this every day.
Thanks so much. You're a sweetheart.
Hey, I could use a hand.
Professor.
Beyond the Great Bridge, we don't know where Lady Rhea is being held. We ought to investigate all potential locations thoroughly. The Knights of Seiros will handle the search. We'll report back if we learn anything.
Professor. Great timing, Professor. I was just going to come find you. Are you busy? I have a question about formations. I don't understand them at all. Are the speed of battle and the terrain connected somehow? There's too much to memorize. I don't? Then what do I have to know? I think I understand the basics. To start, you just... Ah, okay. I think I've got it. Thanks for the help, Professor. Brains and brawn. You've really got it all. With your help, I should have no trouble becoming a proper knight. Huh? Didn't I tell you? My parents were merchants of the Alliance. They died in an accident. That's why it's up to me to look after my little sis. I'm not great with bookkeeping, so I don't think I'd make a good merchant. I talked to Grandpa, and he suggested I become a knight. So I sold all our valuables and used the money to pay my way into the academy. My sis won't survive if I get kicked out, so I can't give up now. I might have tried being a mercenary if I didn't have my little sis to look after. I probably shouldn't say this, but being a mercenary does sound like an easier life. Mercenaries have no responsibilities, and no one else to worry about. But someone's gotta take care of my little sis, so that's out of the question. Serving as a knight in a noble house is more secure, and you don't have to worry about dying unless there's a war. My sis has been through so much. I don't want her to have to worry about me. Hey, do you have any siblings, Professor? Then you probably think I'm missing out on my freedom, having to support her, huh? But working hard for my sister isn't too bad. Call it a burden, call it a challenge. If it makes my sister happy, I'm happy too. You've got my... Anyway, that's why I've got to become a proper knight.
Thanks. I'm glad I asked you.
Nothing here.
What are you doing?
Oh, Flayn! I've just been researching the exploits of Saint Sethlene.
And why is it you're doing that precisely?
Well, painting is a hobby of mine, and I thought I might like to capture her likeness.
Well, how lovely. But how is researching her exploits necessary for painting?
If I wanted to use a statue of Saint Sethlene for my reference, it wouldn't be necessary. But that's not what I want. I wish to paint Saint Sethlene herself, looking exactly as she did when she was alive. And if I don't know anything about who she was on the inside, the image won't be true to life. So I wanted to find some hints about who she was, and that's why I've been researching her deeds.
Ah, so you were hoping to find out what type of girl she was.
Girl? Interesting way of putting it, but yes, more or less.
I see. Yes, it is all quite clear to me now.
What's happening?
Okay then.
allow me to share with you what I know of Sethleen's deeds. Long ago, in a world ravaged by war, Sethleen led a secluded life with her father, Keyhole. One day, they met Saint Seros, who was grieved by the chaos and destruction of war. And so, the three decided to join forces.
Huh? But I thought the saints gathered following a revelation from the goddess.
At the Battle of Tailteen, they fought against the 10 elites led by Nemesis, who sought to conquer the whole world. Sethleen tended to her allies on the field of battle, until she exhausted all her strength. Then, she fell into a long slumber.
But according to legend, she used her miraculous powers to heal all of the wounded.
Interesting story, is it not? Have you perhaps learned something new about Sethleen?
Having heard all that, I'd say she seems incredible.
Incredible? Well, I haven't heard that before. I feel certain you and I will be fast friends. Let us talk again soon.
Huh. Who knew Flame was such an expert on Sethleen?
Each time we press forward, our search for Rhea broadens to a wider area. I certainly hope we will find at least some clue. But I do suspect I already know where she is. If I'm right, and she is in the Imperial capital, then we cannot save her until we topple the Empire.
I hear the next battle could be a big one. Is that true? I miss the old days when if someone got hurt, we'd rush them to the infirmary and make them well. But on the battlefield, there's not enough time to help. People die. Professor, don't be one of those.
This experience is critical.
We secured the win in our first skirmish, but the next battle is a different matter. The Empire will come after us with everything it's got. Even so, the ultimate victory will be ours. And I'm not just saying that. I've made ample preparations to ensure our victory. It's my rule to never leave victory to chance. You can't, with your power and my schemes, I should be able to plot a direct course to victory. That smell, it's amazing. My fave, in fact. Do you like it too?
I like seeing a table full of my favorite dishes.
I like this dish. It was my father's favorite.
This is my most favorite dish of all. I love it almost as much as Crestology itself.
A question. Understood.
With you and your excellent skills at my side, I could probably slack off a bit.
Nonsense. Aren't you supposed to be the one with the superior skills?
You only ever appreciate me at times like these. Well, let's end this together.
Good results. It seems my nipping at Claude's heels has had an effect.
And nipping at my heels counts as working harder? Some things you can't learn in a book.
Could be useful.
How best to use this skill? I fully grasped this topic.
Had I room to grow?
Strength is all for a mercenary. Hopefully I'll be more useful now.
I've still got hidden talents.
I must fall.
I clearly tried.
I can exceed this. I am getting to the heart of it.
want to learn even more. I aspire to be my...
Seems I've improved again.
Gotta get stronger.
Still far from the top.
I'll do my best.
I'll use this power for the greater...
Seems I've improved again.
I'm only getting...
Let's see it in action.
I'm not there. I am only just beginning.
Very interesting. Oh, Teach. How long have you been there? Don't sneak up on me like that. You almost gave me a heart attack. Anyway, I'm reading the official biography of the Four Saints, as sanctioned by the Church. I know you're not very familiar with the teachings of Seiros, but even you must have read it at least once. Tell me again, how exactly did you manage to get a job teaching at an academy run by the Church? Well, whether you've read the biography or not, the Four Saints must at least ring a bell, right? Well then, I've got a little quiz for you. Name the Four Saints, companions of the great Saint Seiros. I'll give you a hint. There was Keyhole, Sethline, Indek, and... who was the fourth one again? Correct. I was hoping you'd know that much at least. In any case, you can learn some interesting things reading about the life and times of Saint Macuil. For instance, he was more skilled with his hands than his fellow saints, and even became an accomplished blacksmith. He used his skills to forge countless sacred weapons for the army of Seiros. Of course, he didn't just forge the weapons, he also used them in battle himself. Legends say his strength was second only to Seros. It's even said that he played a big role in the Battle of Tailtean, where Seros fought Nemesis, the King of Liberation who became the King of Evil. Macuil lost his life in that battle, and now his body rests in a coffin within the Holy Mausoleum. Or so one story goes. Another legend says he set off on a journey to find a new land. That he left Fodlan from the east, crossed the sea, and vanished. He must have left Alliance territory, but where exactly would he have set sail from, I wonder? Thinking about it reminds me of another interesting story concerning the Strang region. The peninsula is attached to the mainland of Fodlan and extends from the northeastern part of Kingdom territory. If you were to set sail from Margrave Edmund's territory, you could cut across a stretch of sea and land there. And it just so happens that in the Strang region, there are ruins built to worship a sacred beast that appeared from across the sea. If the ruins have something to do with St. Macuil, there could be sacred weapons there. So, have I piqued your interest, or what? You always have to play it cool, don't you? Just think of how useful it would be to have weapons like that. Not to mention that the peninsula would be pretty easy to get to about now, seeing as how Alliance territory has settled down a bit. We'd be there and back in no time. No one would even notice we were gone. Come on, Teach. Let's go to the Strang region. I always see it through once I set my mind on something. Let's make the necessary preparations before I die of curiosity. There are the ruins. It looks like we're not gonna have the luxury of an excavation. Look, I bet those are the watchmen of the ruins, and that they've been ordered to keep out intruders. And that big beast? I hear they call it the Wind Caller.
Thieves! Only by defeating me can you claim the secret treasure.
Ah, it speaks! What is it?
Huh? Who are you? I'm just here for a bit of treasure. Don't attack me!
Someone got here first. Must be a band of looters. We can't let them get the treasure. Guess their luck's about to run out.
You're not trying to take this treasure from me, are you?
If I don't get this treasure back, the boss is gonna be really angry with me.
Huh? Are you looting too? Well, I'm not letting you have this treasure.
At the ready.
I'll do my best. Let's make this quick.
I finally mastered it.
I must fall.
I must retreat.
What's my strategy?
Let's clean up.
My orders? I'm not dying here.
Still far.
Onward!
Guide me well. Leave it to me.
Shall we? The treasure.
I am sorry.
After all the trouble we went through to get this treasure, I'm not gonna let you get your hands on it.
A nobleman does his duty.
You should have seen that coming.
Sorry, but I must. More battles means more.
I should never have become a thief.
I'm getting the
I can feel.
I'll grow as strong as I...
I'm the grandson of the grandson of the grandson of the elite Regan. Now tell me who you are.
I am your family's enemy.
If you carry the blood of the 10 elites, you cannot be permitted to live.
What do you mean by that? And what's that crest on your forehead?
No more talk. If you wish to survive, you must destroy me.
Those thieves! No, that's...
I'm grateful.
I feel a little stronger.
Are these your companions?
They are indeed. I should tell you that Seros is in a precarious state right now.
I will not assist you. I have lived apart from the world of man, which disgusts...
I thought you might say as much. That is regrettable.
Good fuel for a scheme.
Brute force won't cut it.
There's still room for
It stopped moving. Is it dead? No. It seems it's just sleeping. I thought we were supposed to be given the treasure, but... forget it. I'll just have a look around there. What about this thing? Huh. I'll think about it later. Thanks for all your hard work, Teach. Sorry for dragging you along with me. I had no idea it would turn into a fight. But hey, at least we got some treasure out of it. I'll leave this in your capable hands. Do with it as you will. know our friends even better than I do. Give it to whoever you think it'll suit best. More importantly, I didn't go there looking for treasure. Not really. Legends about the saints abound. It's hard to tell fact from fiction. I like to confirm whatever I can with my own eyes to find the truth in those legends. Not a thing. We didn't find anything concrete to prove that Saint Macuil had been there. We can't say for certain that the treasure we found was Macuil's either. I do wish we could have spoken to that wind caller a bit more. Unlikely. Macuil lived thousands of years ago. And I've never heard anything about the saints being monsters like that. Wait a minute. Could the wind caller have anything to do with the Immaculate One? The Immaculate One is a monster sent by the goddess. Could the wind caller be... Where was it that I heard that stuff about them having been sent by the goddess? Maybe I'm too tired. My head is heavy. I can't think straight anymore. Let's call it a day for now. I've got plenty of time to think this over.
Hopefully this proves useful.
I'm getting it.
Good results. It seems my nipping at Claude's heels has had an effect.
And nipping at my heels counts as working harder?
Now to apply this knowledge. Impressed yet? Thanks so much. You're a sweetheart.
I'm getting the hang of this.
I'll try to put this to use.
Let's put it to the test.
Age is but a number.
I'm getting it.
Age is but a number.
Good results. It seems my nipping at Claude's heels has had an effect.
And nipping at my... Feeling pretty good about this.
Gronder Field should be around here, right? But it's so foggy. Even if there were enemies here, we'd never know it. I recall the terrain from the Battle of the Eagle and Lion, but without the ability to see the enemy's formation...
Our enemies are subject to the same conditions. We'll just have to wait for the fog to clear up.
Speaking of enemies, what do you think became of those unidentified troops? Any follow-up reports?
We haven't heard anything since. If they were headed this way... Well, I'd like to avoid being caught by surprise, but we can't make use of our scouts because of this fog. It's hard to predict this fight. There's no way to know what will happen. Of course, the morale of our allies would be crushed if we let them see us shaking in our boots. Your guidance is going to be crucial, Teach, now more than ever. Do whatever it takes to lead us to victory.
As my mind clings to desperate thoughts, here it comes, horsebow, moon, and summer's end. Did you hear me just now? What did you think?
Marvelous, as though sung by the goddess herself. Enchanting, heartrending, your voice truly captivates all who hear. It is as though you channel all the emotion and human experience of your life into the music.
Well, I guess I have my fair share of life experience, so long as you're not implying I'm old.
No, that is not... I mean to say that you skillfully applied your own interpretation in the music.
Interpretation? When I sing, I am not interpreting. I'm scarcely thinking at all. I simply yield my heart to the poetry, and the emotion follows naturally.
I believe that is what they call genius. I hope you will permit me to listen again. I would like to hear it up close next time.
Of course. Next time I'll perform a private show. Just the two of us.
You mock me.
Never. I wasn't mocking you. In fact, I'd like to see some more of your poetry.
My poetry? Why?
I'd like to use it for another song. I promise that when it's done, you'll be the first to hear.
Please, my poetry is merely an idle pursuit.
That doesn't matter. The words are unadorned, the feelings so direct. Your poems have touched my heart. They are so true to life.
I suppose there is a certain appeal in the portrayal of such dark emotions, even if it is a bit graceless. Very well. Take this. You may use any of the poems I've finished working on.
Oh my, I can hardly wait. Is this the next part of the poem I was singing just now?
Yes. I wrote that after I heard you sing the first part. I had nearly given up on it, to be honest, but your music gave me the inspiration to continue. Though it is still quite unpolished and not at all ready for a broader readership, I feel.
Unpolished? No, Lawrence. It's beautiful. Thank you. To think that my voice inspired you. Yet, it's you who inspires my voice. I'm so excited to start a new song.
Yes, please do.
Hey there, Cyril. You're working hard as usual.
Nah, just doing my job.
Rhea used to assign your daily tasks herself, didn't she? The church employs a lot of people, but not too many of them can claim they got to speak with the Archbishop every day. You should be proud of yourself. She must have truly valued your work ethic.
Hey, is that everything you wanted to say? 'Cause I'm kinda busy here.
Actually, I was hoping to ask you about Rhea. There's so much we don't know about her, but I thought maybe you...
Yeah, I know more about Lady Rhea than anybody. But why should I tell you anything about her?
So cold. Think about who you're talking to.
Huh? What are you to me?
You don't know who I am?
Of course I do. You're Claude, leader of the Lester Alliance.
That's not what I mean. Well, never mind then. Tell me, don't you ever miss your homeland?
Almyra?
Yes, Almyra. Judging by that expression, I'm guessing you're not terribly homesick.
Life was a whole lot harder for me there than it's ever been around here. My dad and mom both died in the war, and there was nobody there to look after me. The king, he didn't do anything to help, so I had to survive by being smart. I had to stop being a kid real quick.
I'm sorry to hear that.
You don't have to apologize. It's not your fault.
Regardless of whose fault it is, I'm still sorry. I'm sorry that I didn't even know that an acquaintance of mine was suffering. And sorry for asking a tactless question about your homeland. I should have known that it was likely to bring back bad memories.
Nah, I get sad or mad when I think about it, but I'm used to it, so I don't mind any.
I see that. Even still, I apologize for being careless.
Okay, well, Thanks, Claude. If the King of Elmira was like you, maybe things would have been better. Maybe the King's not a bad person and just had other stuff to worry about. But that's not much of an excuse.
If I ever meet the King of Elmira, I'll give him a stern talking to on your behalf.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, I gotta get back to work. Bunch of things to get done.
You really are on the other side now, aren't you? Huh. Well, if nothing else, it's good of you to turn a blind eye to me.
I don't know what that means, but okay. Bye, Claude.
Who's there? Oh, hey, Ignatz.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Relax. You're not interrupting.
I'm sorry. I didn't know you were training out here.
I sometimes come here to practice by myself. It's more like a real battlefield, you know? Shooting the targets in the yard lets you train your aim and all, but the tension just isn't the same.
You're right. A real battlefield feels quite different. But if that's the atmosphere you want, I feel even more like I'm intruding.
Oh, knock it off. You're already here. May as well stick around while I catch my breath.
Ah, okay, sorry. Thank you. Sorry to bother you.
You know you've said you're sorry about a dozen times since you got here.
Oh, I'm so... Ah.
It's fine. I guess it's part of your charm. Hey, what's that bundle of papers? Oh, did you come here to paint? I remember now. Someone said you're a great artist. You paint a lot, right?
Yes. Yes. When I have the time, that is. I enjoy painting. It helps me relax.
Oh, well, that could be your thing.
My thing? Huh? What do you mean?
Last time we talked about it, you said you didn't have a thing you were really amazing at. But if you like painting so much, it must be a skill you're looking to master.
My paintings are nothing but a hobby. Besides, I'm not that good. I never took art lessons. When I was little, I drew a picture for a young girl. The picture made her so happy that I decided to keep at it. That's how it started.
So you're practicing your art to make other people happy? Is that it?
Oh no, that's an overstatement. I must insist again, it's just a hobby. Even if I were to become a master artist, it wouldn't be a useful skill.
Aren't you from a merchant family employed by the nobles? I think it would be really useful there.
I'm not inheriting the business. My brother is. My father said that I'm to become a knight. So my art won't do anyone any good. At all. Ever.
Oh, Ignatz.
This one ought to do.
What are you doing, Cyril?
I'm picking out logs to carry back and chop into firewood.
You can't expect to carry all these by yourself. Let me help.
No, I got it. I don't want you getting hurt. Logs are heavy sometimes.
I'm well aware. You should accept the help being offered. I'm older and wiser. I know best.
Lysithia, you seem a bit shaky. You okay?
Yep, totally fine. I'm just kind of losing my grip on this log. Ah! Well, that wasn't much help as it turned out. I didn't realize they'd be that heavy. I couldn't even walk in a straight line.
I told ya, logs are heavy sometimes. It's hard work if you're not used to it.
I feel foolish.
Well, if you've learned your lesson, I'm gonna go carry the other logs.
Hang on. Shouldn't you rest for a bit?
Wood still needs chopping. I got a bunch of other stuff needs doing before sundown, too.
In that case, let me help you carry the chopped wood.
You know how rough firewood is? You'll get splinters if you carry it with your soft hands.
You can't be serious.
You're just not cut out for this kind of work. Look at your hands. They're like a princess's. No point in you learning to chop wood, is there? You don't need to know how to do that stuff. You and me live in different worlds. there's no point lowering yourself down into mine.
Our worlds aren't so different. We're together right now, aren't we?
Sure, we live in the same places now, but that's not gonna last forever. Don't see how it could. Unless I actually turned into your little brother or something.
Professor Hanneman, is this a good spot for this book?
That will do nicely, Lysithea. I'm sorry to trouble you with these chores.
It's no trouble. After all, it's proper etiquette for the young to help the elderly.
The elderly? I'm only... Never mind. How have you been feeling of late? Anything worth mentioning?
I've been feeling well enough, all things considered.
You seem to be maturing remarkably. No doubt your well-being is due to the positive influence of your twin crests working in tandem.
Here he goes with the positive again. Looks like your research is more useless than I thought.
I may ignore your assaults on my age, but I will not allow unfettered attacks upon my research. What makes you think it's lacking? Surely you do not deny that your crest-related abilities exceed those of your peers. You are so far ahead of the others. Even the combined effects of the twin crests you bear do not fully account for that discrepancy.
You just can't see beyond the crest, can you? In all your research, haven't you considered that my abilities are a direct result of the effort I've put in?
Of course, I am aware that you are a hardworking student, but...
My efforts far exceed those of any other student. I've placed top priority on growing as quickly as possible.
Is the ability to expend such incredible efforts, to be so focused and driven, is that not a form of talent?
It has nothing to do with talent. It's a question of sheer will. I'm determined to succeed, no matter the sacrifice.
I see, but what drives you to such lengths?
I have goals, just like anyone, and precious little time in which to achieve them.
Little time?
The people who made me as I am informed me that my life would be drastically shortened as a result. A person bearing two crests against the will of nature itself. Well, clearly it can't be sustainable. As such, I don't indulge in the luxury of fantasizing about the future. I haven't got one. Knowing all this now, will you still claim that my crests are something positive?
I cannot. Please understand, I had no idea.
I'll be leaving now.
Lysithea, so that is why you were...
Professor Hanneman, you wanted to speak with me?
Miss Marianne, hello. Do pardon the mess. Please have a seat.
Of course.
I have been puzzling over why your father would wish to conceal your crest. And I have arrived at a conclusion. Would you like to hear it?
No, I would rather not.
Ah, fair enough. Then I will keep it to myself. However, if my theory is correct, well, then it is only natural for you and your father to try keeping your crest a secret. That said, I feel I would be remiss if I didn't point out that I consider this decision a most grievous error.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Crests never manifest in someone unfit to bear them. Which means, Miss Marianne, you have the ability to make the most of your crest, because it is, by definition, your crest.
I have no desire to make use of my crest.
But it can be of service to you, and I would venture to suggest, to the world at large.
Ever since I was born, that crest has been nothing but a burden to me. My parents, too.
Ah, that's right. I have heard that you were adopted. Did one of your birth parents also have that crest?
Yes. It was my father.
Then that crest is evidence that you are your true father's daughter. Concealing it, hiding that truth from the world, is denying your true parentage, is it not?
I don't...
I'm not suggesting you flaunt your crest. That would be highly unnecessary, possibly even dangerous. I simply wish you to accept who you are.
Accept it?
Accept the crest and allow its power to come forward. Then it will open itself to you. Whatever the crest may be, whatever its origin or its nature, it can serve you. It is yours to command, however you wish.
Mine?
Nobody can decide how to use your crest, Miss Marianne. That choice is yours alone.
I will think about that.
Oh, hello, Sedith.
Hello, Leone. I imagine you are here to fish?
Yeah, this is a great spot for it. You must be a pretty experienced fisherman, huh?
Actually, while I have enjoyed the hobby for a long while, I must admit I am less than proficient.
Now that you mention it, I can see you're not having much luck today.
It is likely because I am not using any bait.
Well, that explains it. But why bother fishing at all if you're not even trying to catch something?
Truthfully, I fish only so that I might relax. It is soothing to me to cast the line and watch the water ripple. My days are busy, even hectic. It helps to find peace and quiet every so often.
Oh, that makes sense. Still, if you're going to go to all the trouble, you may as well actually bait the line.
Maybe so. But, to my chagrin, I do not even know what type of bait to use. I learned to fish by accompanying my wife. She was always the one to bait the hooks. She would hand me the rod and I would cast my line. I never paid attention to how the rest was done.
Ah. And your wife, where is she now?
She passed away quite some time ago. Since then, I have only to fish on my own. Even so, I find peace out here. Bait or no bait. What about you? Why do you fish?
Me? Just for the fish, actually. For me, it's purely practical. Catch a bite now, one less meal to worry about later. Hunting, fishing, whatever it takes to get by. That's how I've always done it. I'm not exactly starving right now, but back then, if I couldn't catch something, I'd go hungry. So getting the hang of it was pretty vital.
I would certainly say so. I imagine it is intensely satisfying to catch a fish when the need is so great.
Probably, yeah. The need makes it more purposeful. But hey, if you ever want to try fishing for real, I'd be happy to share my bait with you. And if you catch something, I'll cook it up nicely for you. How's that for motivation?
Oh, are you a skilled chef also?
Can't promise it'll be fancy, but it'll taste good.
Impressive. Wouldn't you know it, I am suddenly overcome with the urge to excel.
Great! Let's get started.
Good day to you, Sedith.
Persistent, aren't you? If this is about my crest...
No. I thought we might speak of something else for a change.
Is that so?
Indeed. I am quite fond of conversation, even just for the sake of conversation. Just listen to an old man's worries, eh?
Very well. Go ahead.
Perhaps it's due to my age, but I've been troubled by lower back pain lately. Right now, I'm in the process of finding a good way to treat it.
Ah. If it is an ointment you're after, I think Manuela would know more than me.
Doesn't it make you nervous to rely on Manuela? I do not mind asking her about the pain itself, but...
What are you trying to say?
Oh, nothing. I'm only lamenting the fact that I am getting old. It is a pastime I'm not sure I enjoy. Yet I can't help but notice time hasn't taken such a toll on you.
Well, the signs of age may not write themselves plainly on my face, but I feel the strain of years as much as you.
Is that right? But then, that doesn't explain your sister. Your sister, Flame, was born around the time I came to the monastery from the Empire, yes? In all that time, I never knew you to pay her a visit or to write her letters. Yet somehow, the two of you seem very close, like a family who has spent years together. Could this not suggest a different interpretation? Perhaps, like you, she has...
You will not pry into Flame's business. If you interrogate her, no. If you even so much as inquire where she has been or what she has done, I will never forgive you. Never. Investigate me all you wish. I will even cooperate if I must. But Flame...
Calm down, Seteth. I have no intentions of approaching Flame.
Do I have your word on that?
You have my word as a scholar and as a man. I do apologize for using your sister's name in that way.
Using her? What do you... Oh, that is low.
You promised me just now. Investigate me all you wish, you said. I will even cooperate, you said. Do you deny it? Those words were all I needed to hear. Now I have no cause to approach your sister.
It seems I have no choice. To think I have been played the fool by a man of your age.
I'll let that slight go, now that I have your cooperation.
Even with my cooperation, there is no guarantee you will reach the truth.
Oh, Seteth. Searching for the truth is what I do. And I will find it. I promise you that.
Then I suppose I will have to look forward to the day you prove your claims.
Departing from the Great Bridge of Myrddin, the Alliance army marches south toward Enbar, the imperial capital. As an unknown military force begins their advance under the banner of the kingdom, the Imperial Army dispatches forces from Fort Mercius with the intention of intercepting them. The curtain is rising on a conflict between the three armies, which will come to be known as the Battle at Gronder, held on the same plains that witnessed the Battle of the Eagle and Lion.
Know that I will tear your heads from your shoulders. The dead must have their tribute.
As big class reunions go, this one's gotta be the worst in history.
Years ago, we fought here as classmates. But not today.
Kill every last one of them!
And so we fight on.
I will crush anyone who blocks my path.
Dimitri, he's alive. But he doesn't look interested in joining forces with us.
It would not be advantageous to take on both at once. We must stop the Kingdom and the Alliance from joining forces. I will create such chaotic warfare that they won't be able to tell who is friend and who is foe.
Let's clean up.
At the ready. I fought and won.
What's my strategy?
Mounted units, advance!
Stay back! Stay back or I'll shoot!
Shall we?
It won't be in vain.
Guide me well.
I'll do my best.
I can feel it in...
Professor? Is that you? You're with the enemy. That means I'll have to kill you. I wish I could have at least died at home. Not in this big, stupid field.
Bernadetta, thank you. I'll make sure your life was not lost in vain.
There's more to be done. Let's make this quick.
destiny unfurls.
You're interfering with the plan. Looks like I'll just have to get rid of you.
Not quite what I clear.
The Imperial army is starting to crumble. We will step on the Empire right along with the Alliance troops. To the eternal flames with all of them!
I'll do my best.
Fighting on will endanger my life. Your Majesty, I must withdraw.
No need to worry. We still have some troops left. So long as I stand, we won't give up.
Want to die? Step forward. I'll take you all.
You're not.
I'll tolerate no obstacle.
I haven't seen you in so long. It's such a shame we have to meet like this.
Huh. I guess this is fate. Sorry, but I need you to please give up quietly, okay? I'm not afraid. I figured it would end like this.
I have faith.
I can still fight.
There is much to learn.
In the name of His Highness, you die here.
Have I earned no reprieve?
Shall we?
I think I've got the idea.
I'll make up for the setback.
Guide me well. We haven't seen each other since Garrick Mach. You've grown lovelier than ever, Edelgard.
You're not so unfortunate yourself. And you have the aid of the Professor. Frankly, I'm jealous. Now's the chance for you and the Professor to leave.
I'm afraid I must decline. Even if we left, we just have to come right back.
I lost. Just as expected, you aren't making my path an easy one. I must retreat for now. We'll meet again on the battlefield.
Even in an ugly battle like this, it's important not to lose heart. We have to take pride in our victory. We did it, Teach. Now we can move forward to our victory. So, Edelgard retreated. I suppose she lives to be defeated another day. Too close. But I suppose all that matters is that we won. Some of our allies are injured but can still fight. We'll just have to accept this outcome and press onward. Still, the battlefield looks awful. And I wonder what became of the Kingdom Army and Dimitri.
I saw him.
Who? Dimitri?
He was completely different from how I remember him. He looked like a crazed demon while he was fighting. He pursued Edelgard as she retreated, but he didn't get far before he collapsed. I saw him surrounded by Imperial troops and pierced by their spears. I'll never forget it. He deserved a better end.
Dimitri. He went through so much to make it here, only for his efforts to be in vain.
I can't even begin to understand what Dimitri must have been feeling, but there must have been some other way. Why did he have to go like that?
And his vassal, Dedu. And did he fall as well?
I don't know.
Your Highness. Your ambitions are my own now. I will bring you Edelgard's head. I swear it!
Professor, Claude, may I have a moment of your time?
Lysithea, what are you doing up this late? Trouble sleeping? Anyone would be shaken after such a brutal battle. If you're having trouble sleeping, you should drink some warm milk. That's a thing, right?
Must you treat me like a child, simply because I'm awake a bit later than usual? Actually, I can hardly muster any indignation right now. I wanted to tell you that I noticed something odd during that battle.
What was it?
There were some strange mages among the ranks of the Imperial Army. Did you notice them? That's right. I have seen people dressed just like that before. It was a long time ago. House Ardelia was involved in a rebellion that took place within the Empire 18 years ago. After it was quelled, all of the key officials were caught and put to death. The Empire sent replacements, who they used to take control of House Ardelia. Among the people sent by the Empire were mages dressed in black, just like those we saw in battle.
If they're Imperial mages, it makes sense that they would wear the same clothing, right?
Yes, but the mages from back then and today, I do not believe they are from the Adrestian Empire. No. I got the impression that they were from somewhere else, somewhere completely separate from Fodlan. There's more. Those mages imprisoned the children from my house and performed horrible rituals on them. Blood experiments.
Lysithea, you can't mean... even you?
Yes. All of the others were deemed failures. They all died. And even I... It doesn't matter. The point is that those monsters possess dreadful knowledge and power. I just thought you should know the sort of people who have allied with the Empire.
Blood experiments. Does that remind you of anything, Teach? Exactly. There was that secret group who abducted Flayn and extracted her blood 5 years ago. The people involved back then were Tomas and Monica. Well, I suppose their true names were Solon and Kranya. So, that eerie group has been slithering behind the scenes in the Empire for a while now. Lysithea, thank you for sharing all of that with us. One day we will uncover the truth of who those people really are. We've managed to invade Empire territory and emerge victorious in our first battle. I hope to maintain our momentum and push onward to Enbar, the Imperial capital. Unfortunately, we are not legendary heroes in a fairy tale. Our stamina has limits. The longer we fight, the harder the fight will become. It will take immense effort to secure the supplies and soldiers we need to prevail.
Boy, you better not be saying this is as far as we go.
Of course not. However, the road ahead leads deep into enemy territory. It'll be a difficult journey, strewn with hardship. I can't guarantee that we'll make it out alive. If anyone wants to leave, now is the time to do it.
I shall accompany you to the very end. After all, someone must step up to take leadership should you fall.
I'm coming. The future of my village depends on this. Besides, I have to protect the professor. For Captain Gerald.
I'm not going anywhere. Because of the Empire, my little sis can't live in peace.
We can't leave the future of Fodlan to others. I'm sure that everyone here feels the same.
The Knights of Seiros are prepared to keep fighting the Empire until we rescue Lady Rhea.
I feel the same as the Knights. I've got to rescue Lady Rhea no matter what.
So what? We're all supposed to take turns saying we'll do our best until the very end? And what about you, Marianne? What will you do?
I'll fight too.
Fine. Fine. I suppose I'll tag along too, until the bitter end.
It's an honor to keep fighting alongside such stalwart allies. Right, Teach? Hey now, when you put it that way, it almost sounds like you're just praising yourself. All right. Now that I know where each of you stands, I'm going to return to Alliance territory for a while. I intend to report this victory to the Alliance Lords and draw out even more support from them. Our next battle will be even more challenging. So brace yourselves for that.
I should write to my brother. He'll want to hear about our victory.
Your brother, Lord Holst? How is he these days?
Oh, he's doing great. I even got a letter from him before the last battle. He wanted to come and join our fight too.
What's this? Lord Holst come here? That would be a most reassuring development.
Sadly, it sounds like my father was against the idea. They want him to stay in case they need to fight the Almirans.
Their logic is sound, though it is vexing that the Alliance's greatest general cannot join us on the front lines.
We should be glad that Holst is staying behind. Almira aside, there's also no guarantee that the Imperial forces won't try to launch a surprise attack from the Old Kingdom territory.
If you have something you need to talk to my brother about, I'd be happy to send a letter.
No, that's okay. I'm just glad to hear he's doing well. Please send him my regards.
Part 2. Verdant Wind. Harpstring Moon. The Golden Scheme. Claude leverages his victory at the Battle of Gronder to secure reinforcements from Alliance lords. Meanwhile, the Imperial Army continues to tighten its defenses at Fort Mercius in anticipation of an attack on the Imperial capital.
Our objective is Enbar, the Imperial capital, but our greatest obstacle lies before that.
And what's that?
Fort Mercius. If we can't pass through, we won't be able to reach Enbar.
Fort Mercius, the impregnable fortress, or so it's called.
If I recall correctly, it's sometimes referred to as the Stubborn Old General.
It is a massive fortress that was constructed to protect the Imperial capital.
The Imperial army we defeated has withdrawn to Enbar. Fort Mercius should be short on soldiers for now.
Yes, it would be good to finish up here before more enemy reinforcements arrive. The only real question is what our fearless leader intends to do.
Sorry for the delay, everyone. Those mewling lords kept me from leaving for quite some time.
So, were you able to secure additional reinforcements?
It's gonna have to wait until next month. It doesn't look like they can afford to keep supporting us at present.
Then what should we do about Fort Mercius? Do you plan on waiting around?
No, if we wait until next month, the enemy will have bolstered their defenses. That said, the prevailing theory is that you need triple your enemy's forces to take a fortress with a frontal assault.
Right. That's what we were taught at the Academy. And this is Fort Mercius we're talking about. It's renowned for its strong defenses.
Our current army isn't nearly strong enough. What to do?
Whatever you do, just don't ask us to scale those huge walls. We'd end up dead when they hurl rocks down at us.
Yeah, no thanks. If only someone would open up the gates for us from the inside.
Unfortunately, we don't have any spies in there. Wait a minute. I've got it. We sneak in, stir up confusion, and open the gates ourselves to let our allies in.
Right, that's what I was saying all along.
Right, nice one, Hilda. But how do you propose we go about sneaking in?
Disguises? If we dress up like Imperial soldiers, maybe they'll think we're allies and let us in.
Do you really think they'd just open the gates for us? I'd be pretty dumbfounded if that worked.
No, she's onto something. It's a good idea, Hilda. We just need to refine it a bit, and we'll be in there before we know it.
Really? Go me!
What is your definition of refining the idea? I know your go-to strategy is nausea-inducing poison, but...
Oh, I maybe ate too much. My stomach hurts.
Raphael, why are you eating meat during a war council?
So, fearless leader, I'm guessing you're going to keep the crucial parts of your scheme under wraps until the time comes, aren't you?
You know me so well, Judith. Whether we like it or not, this war puts a damper on all of our spirits. What's wrong with trying to have a little fun every now and again? Just leave the details to me.
Hey, Raphael. Reading a letter?
Well, if it isn't old Ignatz. I got a message here from my sis.
Oh, a letter from Maya. I haven't seen her in so long. I bet she's all grown up.
Nah, she's still a shrimp. It's been a while since I saw her. But she's probably only up to your shoulders.
Wow. I can't believe she's gotten that tall.
I wrote to tell her about how we're friends again. Do you remember this?
Is that the picture I drew for her?
She sent it along with the letter. I guess she held on to it since we were kids. All right, that's enough looking. She said to show it to you and send it right back.
To think she's handling my little doodle with such reverence. That warms my heart. I remember the day I gave Maya that drawing. She looked so happy. Before then, I never knew I could make people happy with art. It was a revelation. I've been drawing and painting ever since, in hopes of becoming an artist one day.
You're much better now, so it must be paying off. I bet you could be a real artist.
No, that's not possible, I'm afraid. I have to consider my parents' wishes.
Who cares what your parents want? It's not like you're a noble or nothing. Your fate is your own.
Huh. You think so?
I know so. And I'm gonna support you with whatever dream you got. Okay, let me see. What's the first step to follow your dreams? Oh, got it. You should paint me.
Paint you?
Yeah, I want my little sis to know how good I'm doing here. So I gotta send her proof. Plus, she'll be doubly impressed if it's a painting you made.
Good point. I can certainly try to capture your likeness. I'll paint you with a warm, cheerful expression on your face to bring Maya comfort.
My face? No way! You gotta get my muscles in there. Mostly my chest and arms.
Are you sure that's what she'd want to see?
Wait! Before you start painting, I gotta get me a little more training in. If my muscles aren't bulging, then what's the point?
I'm not sure about this. Huh. What's that about? Marianne, I saw you on the training grounds earlier. It looked like there was an argument.
Oh, no. It was nothing.
Are you sure? Nothing happened at this morning's training?
Well...
Okay, tell me what happened.
I just couldn't keep up with the rest of the group. Everyone got so mad at me. They said something about looking into their eyes so I could read their movements, but I couldn't do it.
They may have a point.
I'm a hindrance to everyone. I can't do it.
Of course not. That goes without saying. It's hard to accomplish anything on your own. Look at me. By myself, I'm worse than useless. Can you see where I'm going with this? To succeed, you have to cooperate. You can't do that if you're not paying attention to nonverbal cues.
Huh?
Please, try looking up. Looking people in the eye. You'll see some things that you've never seen before. People worry about you, and rely on you. You'll see that on your allies' faces. In a way, you'll see what they're thinking.
You may be right. It was my fault for looking down. Thank you, Ignatz. I appreciate your encouragement.
Of course. Look, We both saw the sunset and appreciated its beauty. Nature communicates without words. We can do the same. We don't need to speak to be understood. Stop staring at your feet. Look at us. That'll be a good start.
I can certainly try.
Huh.
Is something wrong? Did I say something to upset you?
Oh no, to the contrary. I just realized that I was missing something. A thing of remarkable beauty. Right under my nose.
Remarkable beauty?
What? Don't mind me. Excuse me, Shamir?
What is it? Do you need something?
Yes. I was curious about the world beyond Fodlan.
Oh.
You came from somewhere outside Fodlan, right? I'm curious about your homeland, what kind of place it was. And I thought you might...
I will not.
Sorry?
There's no point in me telling you about it.
I see. All right then.
Wait. You misunderstand. Hearing me tell stories about the things I've seen? What good is that? That's just my experience. If you want to know about the world, you need to experience it for yourself. Is what I meant to say.
Oh, that's what it was. That's... good.
How so?
I thought maybe you didn't like me.
Is that what you think? In your experience, do I seem to dislike you? If you can't determine something as simple as that, then you would gain nothing from the outside world.
Oh, I don't actually know. I'm not very good at reading people, I guess.
Ask me. I'm right here.
I'm not that brave. I'm sorry, I'll leave you alone. I'll be going now.
Not brave enough to ask a simple question. Or does he just not care?